Hi, greetings, fellow Arrow fans. Well, look at Arrow Season 1 now continues on with the episode Dead to Rights. The episode opens with an assassin named Guillermo Barrera arriving in town via helicopter. Once Guillermo exits the helicopter onto the roof, the Arrow leaves the shadows to intercept him, and the two proceed to fight. The Hood eventually kills him with an arrow to the chest. John trains with Felicity in the Arrow Cave so she can handle herself in tough spots. Oliver then returns and asks Felicity to hack Guillermo's phone in order to discover his target in Starling City. In a flashback to his time on Lian Yu, Oliver succeeds in fixing the airplane radio. He and Slade attempt to call for a rescue, but they realize that the radio is one-sided. They can hear the crew, but the potential rescuers cannot hear them. Back in the present day, Oliver calls Quentin disguised as the Hood with word about the hit happening the next day. Quentin tells the Hood to call him back with a name. Oliver and McKenna go to Tommy's birthday party at Laurel's apartment. Malcolm Merlin shows up to give Tommy a present and invite him to a ceremony where he's being awarded Humanitarian of the Year. Tommy brushes him off. Meanwhile, the Chinese Triad and Deadshot organize to murder Malcolm Merlin at the awards ceremony. Moore and Frank go to a meeting of the secret organization, where Malcolm presents good news on the progress of the undertaking and proclaims, "We won't fail the city." Moira assures him they are all behind him. Tommy tells Laurel he has decided to go to his father's award presentation. Before the ceremony, Malcolm asks Moira if they can talk afterwards. Malcolm is introduced as the city's Humanitarian of the Year. Chinese Triad members pose as waiters. Oliver and McKenna are on a date to talk about fitting a possible relationship into their already busy lives. Felicity hacks into Guillermo's phone, and John relays the message to Oliver. Oliver bails on his date and calls Quentin with a name. During his speech, Malcolm admits to failing his city thus far, but promises to be better. The Chinese try to turn off the power, and the crowd begins to exit. Malcolm realizes what is happening and heads to the second floor with Tommy. The Hood fights off the Chinese Triad gunmen as Malcolm and Tommy move to the panic room. The Hood then commences into a fight with China White, the new leader of the Chinese Triad. Malcolm fights off a few would-be attackers, and his son is stunned by his father's skills. The Hood manages to overcome China. As he stands over her with his arrow drawn, McKenna comes up from behind him with a gun. Deadshot manages to hit Malcolm several times in the chest through the panic room's window, but Malcolm was wearing a vest. The Hood is able to escape McKenna by shooting a fire extinguisher, and he continues up to the second floor. There, he finds that Malcolm has been nicked by Deadshot's trademark Kirari bullets. The Hood tries to explain to Tommy that the procedure to save his father, but Tommy does not trust the vigilante. Oliver is consequently forced to reveal his true identity to his best friend and helps him perform a life-saving blood transfusion on his father. Later, Quentin and McKenna ask Tommy why he listened to the vigilante and if he knew him. Tommy says he has no idea who the masked man's true identity is. In the flashback, Slater realizes that Oliver has the radio tuned to the soldiers' channel. They hear Edward Fires talking to his off-island benefactor in a reference to Scylla, a monster from the Odyssey. Slade wishes to meet this monster. In Starling City, Oliver tells John that Deadshot is the reason Malcolm is in the hospital. John is upset that his brother's killer is still alive. Back to the flashback, Slade and Oliver see that Scylla is an anti-aircraft missile launcher. In the present day, Oliver arrives at the hospital. He runs into McKenna, who says she's willing to give their relationship a try, and Oliver happily agrees. Malcolm wakes up and Tommy tells him what happened in the building, including the Hood's involvement in saving his life. Malcolm proceeds to tell Tommy that after his wife died, he found a man who will make sense of his life. Malcolm says his plan is to help make the city a better place for everyone. Moira arrives at the door, and Tommy exits the room to leave them alone. Malcolm tells Oliver's mother he wants to find the traitor in our midst. Outside, Tommy asks if Oliver's ever going to tell him the truth about his alter ego, and Oliver says no. Laurel's apartment. Dinah arrives at her door saying she needs to talk to her daughter, but Laurel refuses. Her mother proceeds to tell her it's important because she thinks Sarah may still be alive. Bum bum bum. So let's look at some trivia surrounding this episode. This is the first episode of the series not to feature Willa Holland, who plays Thea Queen. These only 4 cast members to appear in every episode. Stephen Amell, Katie Cassidy, David Ramsey, and Susanna Thompson. Assuming the episode takes place in real time, McKenna's line that Fall Out Boy broke up may or may not have been true. At the time of filming, which was January 17th to January 28th, the band had been dispersed for over 3 years. However, on February 4th, Fall Out Boy announced they would begin to form again as a whole, 23 days before the episode aired, which was February 27th. Laurel mentions that Sarah owned a pet canary as a child. This is a reference to Laurel's alter ego in the comics Black Canary. It also foreshadows Laurel and Sarah's future canary vigilante identities. Malcolm reveals to Tommy that after Rebecca's death, he left the city to train at Nanda Parbat. In the DC Comics, Nanda Parbat is a fictional city in the Himalayas home to the goddess Ramakrishna, who gave the superhero Deadman his powers. In the 3rd season, it was revealed that Nanda Parbat is the home of the League of Assassins. This episode marks the directorial debut for Arrow photography director Glenn Winter, who will go on to direct episodes of fellow Arrowverse shows The Flash, Supergirl, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. So overall, I think this is a pretty good episode, and the fact that Oliver ultimately had to reveal his true identity as Tommy is kind of shocking, but in a way, kind of makes sense to me. So yeah. So overall, I give the episode Dead to Rights 4 arrowheads out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in more as we take a look at the next episode, The Huntress Returns. So, until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.